Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Clearview Township Council meeting for April the 13th, 2026. Council did meet at approximately 3:30 for an in-camera session, so we're just returning after that. We do have some members of our staff here with us, our CAO, and we also have a good crowd in the audience here tonight, so we're looking forward to hearing from them. At this time, I'd like to begin our meeting by recognizing the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples of Canada as traditional stewards and caretakers of the land. We acknowledge that Clearview Township is located within the boundaries of Treaty 18, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Tiatanati, the Wendat, and is the home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples as part of an intricate nationhood that reaches across Turtle Island. At this time of truth and reconciliation, we welcome the opportunity to work together towards new understandings and new relationships and ask the Creator for guidance in all that we do. As always, I'm very honored to be able to say the land acknowledgement on behalf of the whole township. So Council, like I said, did begin our session with item number 1. We went to a closed session, so we can return to our agenda. But first, I do want to acknowledge that our Deputy Mayor, Paul Van Staveren, of course, is joining us online. And so we have our full quorum here tonight. So it's great to have you joining us there, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our first item for tonight then in open session is the approval of the agenda, which is, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby approve the agenda dated April 13, 2026 as presented. Can I get a mover and seconder? Mr. MacArthur, Mr. Broderick, thank you very much. Any questions on the agenda? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? That carries, thank you. Any declarations of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? Mr. Broderick, thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. Item number 10.3.1, report LS 01-26, the facility lease agreement. The lease is to the Clearview Chamber of Commerce, and I currently hold the President's position on the board, so I won't be participating in that discussion.
All right, that's understandable. Thank you so much, and thank you for the work you do on that board as well, though. Appreciate that. So when we come to that, we'll deal with that. Are there any others? Giving you an opportunity? No others. Okay, so we're going to move on then to our public participation period. So we do have some members in the audience, so I'll read the full script here. It says, please be advised that comments and views expressed under public participation period are not the views of the Township of Clearview Council or the administration. Public participation is limited to 15 minutes. Each person is limited to 5 minutes. Questions and comments are to be directed to the mayor, and questions shall not refer to personnel matters, litigation or potential litigation or planning matters that have already had a public meeting or any item considered confidential. And for those members of the public not able to attend the meeting in person, written public participation can be provided through the township's portal, and written comment shall be received prior to noon on the Friday before the regularly scheduled council meeting. And as always, I please ask for you to share the time with your fellow citizens. So at this moment, I'll ask our deputy clerk who monitors our portal, do we have any items from the portal tonight for public participation?
Thank you, Your Worship. We did receive one question for electronic participation, and it's printed in front of you.
All right, that's been distributed to members, and so I have it here, and so I can read it. Frankly, it's a lengthy one, so I'll do my best to itemize the concern. This comes from Valerie Brady, and Valerie asked the question, as per the public agenda regarding the Youth Center Stainer Community Hall permanent usage for up to 2-year period. And she's concerned that the community hall will not be available for social rentals during the 2-year period. And if so, would that mean that the Clearview Township will not be receiving any rentals from our community hall? And recreation traditionally does not make any money and usually runs at a deficit. Sadly, that statement's generally true. There are some municipalities that are a little tighter. We're definitely are in the closer side of the deficit side. I just don't understand why our township is willing to turn down rental monies, how much income may be lost by this recommendation, and it surely affects our township budget. This moves the onus on the taxpayers to keep our hall. And for the record, I disagree as a taxpayer to the recommendation in the report, and that's from Valerie Brady. So Perhaps I could turn over to the Recreation Director and or the staff who might be available there. Do we have a sort of an understanding or how much we might be seeing annually from rentals in the hall there? I think it was part of your presentation during budget, but I don't recall it off the top of my head. And sorry to put you on the spot. Maybe you could come up with something, Terry, if you have something.
Thank you, Your Worship. Sorry, just to clarify, you were asking if I know how much rentals that annually?
What's the dollar value of rentals we might receive annually from the hall rentals?
Good question, Your Worship. Sorry, I don't have that number on the top of my head. We typically have, private rentals, I guess you could say. We probably have about a dozen per year at that location. We have multiple halls, as you know. But the comment that was provided is specifically regarding the Stainer Hall at the arena. We usually get about between, I think 12 to about 18 rentals per year. The average price is about $400 per rental, depending if there's any alcohol being served or whatnot. There's a whole variety of part of the fee bylaw there. So, but sorry, Your Worship, I don't have that number on the top of my head. But I can add, though, Your Worship, if you like. I know the youth center used to rent a location at the previous Highway 26 location, and we used to spend $3,800, I think it was, per month for rent. So right now, I know it's on the agenda later on this evening, but we are saving that amount right now as part of because the youth center is at the facility. So there's a bit of a savings, actually. More of a savings in the rental versus the revenue that we receive.
All right, well, thank you very much for that, Terry, Mr. Director. So Ms. Brady, I appreciate your comment and question. For the record, you disagree. Fair enough. I will just state, and I'll state it when we get to the debate portion of our agenda to talk about this very item, that this entire situation of the youth center using the recreation space at the arena came about as a result of us halting the plans to renovate the former Stainer Care Center when the fire occurred at the Belmont, and those seniors and those jobs needed to be returned and revived back in our community. And so when council made that decision to do that, obviously there's going to be impacts across our operation. And so this is certainly the clear impact that's happened, because we do not have another space for the youth center at this time. Obviously, we will keep our eyes open for other spaces, but we will make further decisions as we get down the road on the 2-year agreement with the Belmont to use the facility at this time. So that'll be part of my comments, and I'm sure I'll hear from other members of council when we get to discuss this. So Ms. Brady, thank you very much for your submission. So at this time, I can open the floor to any members of the public who would like to come forward if they have any questions or public participation they'd like to bring forward. The microphone is here. Andrew, how are you? That's great. Debbie, do you know how to lower that? Do you know how to, maybe you press the lever on the inside on the right handle, push it, and then press down. There you go. Andrew, look at that. Press that button there. You look for a green light.
There we go. Oh, wow. Now I'm real loud.
Andrew, I just want to state, by the way, if I can, maybe the camera could get a shot of Andrew right there so we can state this very clearly.
Andrew, so we can just make sure that this is getting used.
Well, I just want you to know, I want you to know that when our clerk purchased that particular podium, she was so pleased that we got a podium that is accessible.
Well, I'm pleased for it now.
I'm so pleased that it's working out for you, man.
Awesome.
Good.
So just want to start to say hello, everyone. If you don't know who I am, my name's Andrew Brawny. We are from the Cybergnomes Robotics. This is Deb Brawny. We are here to share some amazing news about the team. If you don't know what Cybergnomes Robotics is, it's a Clearview-based robotics team that has about 25 youth members on it that we participate in competitive robotics around Ontario and around Canada so far. And we want to share today that we participated in 3 competitions now this year in the FRC, one being in Vancouver. So we traveled with 7 students out to Vancouver. We competed valiantly. We didn't have the success that we would have liked to see, but there was lots of learning. which brought us back to North Bay 3 weeks ago, where we are proud to show off our blue banner, which is the banner you receive after winning the competition.
Wow.
So
Well done.
So the Cybergnomes, Team 2013, are the proud winners of the North Bay District competition, which
Deb, I think she wants to take a picture, so turn that around.
I'll make sure it's right side up.
Could you guys give me a hand and hold this up so Debbie can be in this picture? Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks very much. Debbie, get over there the other side of Andrew. Let these guys hold this banner up. This is perfect. Look at this. Well, congratulations, team. That's really great news.
I want to continue here, and we've, as the winner of this competition and our success we had in just this past weekend, we just got home yesterday from Niagara Falls, or Welland. We competed well enough there. We did not win. We made it to the quarterfinals, but that gave us enough district points to qualify for the provincial championships. So we will be headed down to Niagara Falls proper next week, at the end of this week. So we leave on Thursday night. To compete against 100 of the best teams in Ontario for the opportunity to hopefully do well enough we can then participate in Houston, Texas at the World Championships.
Wow.
So really great success that we wanted to share with council. We are also, if anybody has any connections, we are also looking for some money to be able to pay for the cost that is incurred by having to go to by opportunity to go to the provincial championships. And that's all we had to say today.
Fantastic news. All the best. Good luck in Niagara Falls, and then on to Houston.
Thank you
Won't
very
that be
much.
exciting for the kids this year? And I'm sure the mentors will love it too.
The students are thrilled.
Oh,
And
betcha.
Actually, to top that off, in Welland this weekend, we won the Spirit Award for all the kids being so excited and dancing around and gnome costumes and the whole deal. So,
The gnome costumes, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are becoming known for that across the area, right?
absolutely.
That's known with a G. Got it.
If anybody is connected, you can watch it on YouTube. And my mother is a fan of the FRC. And we were sitting in the stands, and she says, "I can see you, turn around and wave," because one of the moms had made like numbers for us, like 2-foot numbers. So the whole competition, these numbers were sitting at the very bottom of the screen. So, and for 7 kids to win a Spirit Award is really something, because a lot of these teams have 20 to 30 kids that are at the competition.
Nice.
So it was really something for us to win this award.
Yeah. Well done.
Awesome.
And those robots are really cool. I mean, every year, we've had them here in the chambers before, but they're pretty impressive work that you guys and the students put together to accomplish the task that's presented. So well done, well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Glad you were here tonight to share that with us. That's great news. Thank you, Andrew. All the best. All right. Are there other members of the public who want to come forward? Hello there. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Thanks for showing me how to use this.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be outdone by Andrew, but I'm Andy. So
Oh, hi, Andy.
just a shorter version. I'm a member of the Singhampton board for our community center. I wanted to thank you guys for giving us money last year towards our playground. Just to let you know, Grey Highlands has matched you now with the same amount. So we challenged them, and they stood up and came to our AGM yesterday and delivered a check. So we are getting close. We're at $19,000 we've raised towards our $75,000, and we've asked Amanda and Terry to for the couple promotions for us to the council. So hopefully you'll be understanding of that. And we do have a hall for rent if you need anyone needs a hall.
Well, we can talk halls, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Andy, terrific news. That's great. And thank you, by the way, to the members of council at Grey Highlands Council, our neighboring and sister municipality right next door to us. You know, our communities are very similar. We're both agriculture, we both have an urban center, and so I'm really pleased that they see that. And it's always a pleasure to go to Singhampton and know that it's one of those communities that shares county lines and municipal lines and everything, but I'm glad that we all work together in the
Right, well,
county.
we are a town divided by townships.
Yes.
We have you guys on one and them on the other.
Yeah, but you're all from Singhampton,
That's
so
true.
it
It's
matters
true.
not, does it?
It doesn't.
You're all neighbors,
That-
I get it.
I'll second that.
100%.
Thank you for your time.
Well, that's great, and congratulations, and I look forward to hearing more about the project up there too, as you're building this building, right? Good job. You want to come back up and speak about that? Sorry, I didn't mean to tease you. Go ahead.
That's okay. Well, I forgot we do have another project. That's the pavilion, which is going to be a home to the Zamboni and also an area where the kids can dress rather than out on benches in the snow. So that's another thing that's near and dear to our heart, but that's a different program that's being handled by Judy. I'm primarily looking after the playground portion of it, but thanks for your interest. I do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. All right. Well done, Singhampton. And the ramp romp's coming up. Okay, so my question on the ramp romp, as the council, you guys have been to the ramp romp. You know that the baked goods are always spectacular. The desserts are excellent, and so are the leeks. So have a good time. When is the ramp romp this year, Andy?
Let me look. Saturday, May 9th.
9th,
And
okay.
it's the 39th annual. So here's.
Is it really 39
So
years?
can we
Well done.
post this outside on the board?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think, maybe you guys can help them find a spot to put that up out there somewhere, I'm sure. Thank you. Thanks, Andy, and thank you again, Singhampton. We'll see you at the ramp romp. All right. Well done. Well done. Okay, someone else wants to speak? Please come forward. Is that microphone on? I think we turned it. Oh, there we go.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a member of the community in Singhampton as well. I and a couple of the trustees have written, we researched and wrote the grants for the Canadian Revitalizing Fund from federal development, and also the Clearview Community Grant that you awarded us last year. So we understand the Farm Credit Canada grant that we presented is going to be, Andy mentioned that he's invited you to work on that. And we, as a community who are really interested in supporting grant writing, would love to work with you on that. Yeah. So just wondering, I know with the Farm Credit Agri Spirit, we have, the money has to flow through the township or be a partner. Now, Farm Credit mentioned that in the writing and submission, that it's usually the organization that does that. So just wanting confirmation how we could stay involved.
Recreation staff, do you have a comment on that? Otherwise, I'll look for Kelly from our treasury. Go ahead, Amanda, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. Good evening. Right now, the report is on the agenda for tonight to be approved. So once we get some direction from council as to whether we can proceed or not, our department will be working with the members of the Singhampton Community Center Memorial Park committee or subcommittee that is working on the playground initiatives. So there would certainly be opportunities for members of their organization, especially looking towards Andy as being the key leader, to identify who those volunteers would be that our department would work collaboratively with. So.
Oh, super. That's great. We do have within the board assigned person, a trustee for the grants. So wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, before you run off, I didn't catch your name again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Carla Hanisch. I'm a former, a retired farmer from Clearview Township.
Are you?
Yes.
Wow, great.
Duntroon Farm.
You picked a great place to retire to, Singhampton.
Yeah, well, starting a second career, an encore career, we should say, and in farm and agriculture, consulting. Part of that is in communications and grant writing. So, yeah, so
Good.
it's been a great experience to be able to put that skill to the test and win
right.
some of those grants for us. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thanks for participating. We'll look forward to hearing that result when we get to that debate as well on the council table. Thank you. Is there any other members who want to come forward and speak? Oh, hello, I recognize this gentleman. Hello, Gord.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Deputy Mayor, members of council, staff, and the public. I'm just here tonight to let you know I'm available to answer any questions in regards to the Creemore bleachers. As the public at large already know, we're going to be able to donate all the materials work for no cost to the township, and we have proposed that we include the dugouts. So I'm hoping to work on a design with Burnsides in the near future, and we have had some donations come forth that we are hoping to pay for the bleachers as well. And I'm working to help out my hometown of Singhampton for some money for the pavilion as well. So I can't announce anything on that yet, but I'm hoping to bring that to fruition as well.
All right, thank you for making yourself available. And there is a small item underneath 8.1 about that discussion, so we can you can wait for that.
Great.
And if you're mentioning Singhampton here as well, I think we should have held the meeting at the Singhampton Community Center tonight. I think. How's your internet up there, guys? Okay, all right.
Great, thank you very much.
Make a summer meeting up there, that'd be great. Thank you very much, Gord, for everything you're doing. Is there any other members from the public who want to come forward at this time? No? No one else? All right, well, thank you very much for those that participated. Public participation, of course, we'll close it at this time, but thank you for stepping up and speaking and sharing some of the information around our community. Council, we're going to move on in our agenda, and our next item here in front of us is, where did it go? Here it is right here. It's the delegation presentations, public meetings. We have none. So we're at item number 7, which is approval of the council meeting minutes. Recommendation, be it resolved, Council of the Township of Clearview hereby approve the minutes of the March 23rd, 2026 council meeting as presented. Deputy Mayor, would you like to move that? Thank you. Looking over at Mr. Walker. Thank you. Any questions on the minutes from council? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? And that carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Correspondence items. Again, as I said, we do have 8.1, so I'll get to that first, and then I've got a proclamation about volunteerism. So, okay, here you go, Gord. This is one for you. All right, council. From our closed session, the recommendation is, be it resolved, the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby direct the CAO to amend the management and construction lease agreement for the Creemore Bleachers project by removing the requirement for securities from 737494476 Ontario Inc., known as Mountain Ridge Custom Homes, and that the building permit fees for the project be paid for by the township. Can I get a mover and seconder on this floor, please? And that'll be Mr. Broderick, and I'll take Mr. Broderick and Mr. MacArthur. Thank you very much, guys, gentlemen. If there's no discussion, any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? And that carries unanimously. Thank you very much. And then we have a property issue here as well. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby direct staff to act in accordance with the direction provided in closed session regarding the proposed property purchase. Mr. Walker, Mr. Beelan, thank you very much. Any questions? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? And that also carries unanimous. Thank you. All right. Now, council, item number 8.2 is National Volunteer Recognition Week. I have a proclamation to read, and I wanted to read this one here at this meeting here tonight. Because it's about volunteers, and we've got a good example of volunteers right here in our room tonight joining us. So, National Volunteer Week Proclamation, whereas volunteers are the backbone of our community, contributing their time, talent, and energy to improve the lives of others and strengthen the fabric of our society. And whereas volunteers in the Township of Clearview serve in vital roles, including mentoring youth, supporting seniors, protecting our environment, managing emergency services, and enhancing community events. And whereas these dedicated individuals embody the spirit of compassion and service, contributing significantly to a more vibrant, inclusive, and compassionate place to live. And whereas National Volunteer Week is a time to thank, celebrate, and recognize the invaluable contributions of volunteers of all ages and backgrounds. Now therefore, I, Doug Measures, Mayor of Clearview Township, on behalf of the Township of Clearview, do hereby proclaim April the 19th through April the 26th, 2026 as National Volunteer Week, and urge my fellow citizens to recognize the crucial role played by volunteers in our community. Council, I just wanted to read that out. I hope that's an acceptable proclamation to all of you. There's no flag raising on this one, but I do wanted to acknowledge that at our council meeting here tonight, so thank you. Now, also, the Simcoe County District School Board has a recommendation that has come to us. And this one, actually, it was sent to us by our neighboring municipalities, and so I have this recommendation. I asked the clerk to include this on the agenda. I will look for a mover and seconder after I read this. Whereas locally elected trustees provide essential community representation, and whereas rural communities rely on trustees to reflect local priorities, ensure accountability, and advocate for students, and whereas proposed changes may reduce or eliminate local elected trustees, therefore be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby supports the Simcoe County District School Board position on maintaining elected trustees, and that the Government of Ontario should commit to a full-scale, transparent, and province-wide consultation on school board governance models, and that correspondence outlining the support be circulated to Premier Doug Ford, Paul Calandra, Minister of Education, MPP Brian Saunderson, the OPSBA, Roma, and AMO. Okay, I'll look for a mover and seconder on this motion. Mr. Broderick, thank you. Is there a seconder? Councillor Deneen, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions or concerns they'd like to bring forward on this? Yes, Mr. Walker, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm torn on this whole process. We have, for the last 4 years, not seen our school board trustee at this council chamber. We have various questions with regards to the former Byng School. What conversations have taken place at the Ed Center? We have no input as to where in the queue our new school that is slated for Clearview through the development, where it was. It was 10 or 12 in the queue at one point 3 years ago, and we've had no conversation since then. We have not had any input with regards to what effect the new schools in Wasaga Beach will have on Clearview for Stainer Collegiate. We have had no communications whatsoever. But by saying all that, I maybe realize that some trustees may not be able to fulfill their duties by going to the schools. But I would support this because the government will not be there if we need to talk to somebody. You might be able to talk to your trustee, you might be able to talk to somebody at the board, but I just want to make the comment that I am not happy with the present structure, that I think that somehow the trustees, if it's in their mandate, need to get out to their constituents at least once a year for updates and communications. And I will support this, as trustees, I think, are by far easier to talk to than our provincial government, whether it be Liberals or Conservatives. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. I appreciate them very much. Other members of council, does there anybody else have any questions or comments on this motion? Yes, Mr. Beelan, thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. I couldn't agree with Robert Walker anymore, other than I did get to meet the trustee once, and that was for a tour of the school, the Pine School in Angus, which was really good. And I said, you should come here and maybe be a delegation here, or at least show up here once in a while. And she said she would, but she hasn't been here yet. So, thank you.
Yes, I joined you on that tour, Councillor Beelan, and it was interesting to see the school over there in Angus. But my conversations that I've had with Trustee Rafiq, their meetings often conflict with our meetings, and particularly the Wednesday night meetings. And so we're trying to find one, and in fact, the clerk and I were working on a date that just conflicted, and it just didn't work out. But we are still open, and I will extend that by email to her again if she wishes to come and see us. So that would be great. So thank you for that. Are there other members of council have any questions or comments? All right. So my final comment then on this motion is I tend to agree very much so with what Mr. Walker said, particularly the aspect about the governance model. I find that the trustees, while they mean very well, and I know that they care very much about the school board system, I find the trustee system often forgets about the fact that there's a municipality here supporting the school family and the school community, and I think that they need to emphasize their engagement with their local municipalities just as much, if not more. And so I would encourage all trustees or anybody who might think they might want to be a trustee to acknowledge and recognize that municipalities are the people that, where all of your school community come from. And so we need to have them as partners. Over the years, we've had various levels of partnerships between the programming that they do at the school and the programming that we do in our recreation department. There have been, over the years, various arrangements with libraries and so on, and shared use of track facilities and shared use of baseball and hockey facilities, these kind of things. But, we do need to have a better relationship with them. And I think that the point in this resolution here is about a province-wide consultation on school boards is the key to me. I think that this is an issue right across the whole province, and it's disappointing. So I'm hopeful that this will settle down before the election approaches, and we hope that the provincial government knows that we're open and willing to be partners for sure. That's my comments on this. If there's nothing further, I'll call the motion. All those in favor? That'll carry unanimous. Thank you very much. So we'll prepare this resolution through the clerk's department and perhaps a few paragraph comment from myself as well. Thank you. Council, well, moving on then. 8.4 is our county advisory about the Simcoe County Paramedic launches the Paramedic for a Day contest, which is always fun. Speaking of schools, that's promoted well through the school system to do that. Regular leaf and yard collection restarts on April the 6th. So people are out there already raking their lawns, even in this rain. County launches the 2026 bursary program to support local students and families. Oh, by the way, that's also a school board issue, isn't it? Right there, which is a good program, and we participate in it here at Clearview. The NVCA media release about students dive into the Great Lakes learning at Wasaga Beach. I'm not sure if Paul, if you attended any of that, or if you have any comments, we'll save that till we go around the table here. And then the county statement from our warden, Basil Clark, regarding the provincial governance announcement. If you haven't read it, I encourage you to read it. And also, I want to acknowledge that there are lots of media coverage on this very point about the three items. One is the reduction in size. The second one is the use of the weighted vote system, which in my opinion and many others around our county council table will diminish the role of rural communities at the county. And then the final thing is the surprise announcement from the minister that the warden would be an appointed position and not be an elected official who has a mandate accountable to the citizens. So that's quite a departure from what the county of Simcoe has been for many, many years, always hosting a elected official in the role of warden. So this will be a very interesting time as this all plays out. A lot of unknowns here, by the way. There's a report in our county council agenda tomorrow about this very piece, so I'm sure there'll be a good discussion. Nothing further on the correspondence that anyone wants to bring forward? Okay, let's go around the table then, and we'll start with Councillor Walker. I'm going to put you up first, if you would.
Thank you, Your Worship. April the 2nd, we're involved in a special meeting. On the 3rd, I went to the 3-on-3 tournament on the Friday, and everybody was having one hell of a good time. The kids were enjoying, the parents, and I just want to commend our Recreation Department and their volunteers for a job well done. It was an excellent weekend again, and I'm sure those that received their wonderful medals that were at the table were very, very happy that they had those big, nice medals hanging around their neck. On the 7th, attended the Green Shirt Organ Donor Flag Raising. On the 7th, we had accessibility. On the 8th, as part of the Jarlette Official Open House. And then we have on the 15th, coming up, we have the community grant check presentations. And on April the 21st, I have the library. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Good to see you at those events. Councillor Beelan.
Thank you, Your Worship. March 27th, I went to the Warden Simcoe County Bonspiel in Midland, part of the Clearview team, and we won the championship. So we have to make room for a trophy. It's being etched with our names on it, and it will be brought here. I think we'll probably put it
I'm going to get the
somewhere
warden
here.
to come here and present it to you.
Kudos to our skip, Robert MacArthur. If we won, we were going to do it as a team, but if we lost, we were putting all the blame on him. So, March 29th to April 1st, I was at the Good Roads Conference. It was good once again. Learned a few things. April 1st, I also went to the Climate Action Committee meeting. Their awards were presented on Earth Day at Eco Park on April 22nd. April 7th, I was at the Green Shirt Day. Remind you to try and be an organ donor if you can, after you pass away. April 8th, I went to the Jarlette Grand reopening, and that's quite an impressive building. April 9th, we had the Culture and Sports Hall of Fame. The nominations are closed, and the banquet is June 10th, and that's all I have.
Well done. Did you draw to the button?
That's a skip's job.
Okay. Thank you very much, Councillor Beelan, and well done. Councillor Deneen.
Thank you, Your Worship. I too attended the curling bonspiel as the weakest link on the team, but it was a lot of fun, and we did it. That was great. I attended the Good Roads Conference, the special council meeting, the Green Shirt Day flag raising, the Jarlette Grand reopening, and it was grand. That was really impressive. And again, the community assistant grant checks are presented on Wednesday. And in Ottawa, the spring scrap metal drive is on again at the Ottawa Hall, and all donations are greatly appreciated. Thanks.
Well done. Well done, and thank you for participating, representing Clearview on the curling. Deputy Mayor, I'll hold off and come back to you in a minute. I'm going to go over to the skip here. Skip MacArthur, how about you give us a little update on how the team members did, okay?
Well, we can't forget number 4 team member from our staff. Dale Lightheart went with us as well, so I like to think I brought Marty's best out in him. So his sweeping could improve, but we got through it. So it was a great day, and I'd never.
If you throw well, you don't have to sweep, Robert.
I understand Phyllis put out some good guards.
She did.
Excellent. Good.
She really did. So anyway, I'd never curled in Midland before, so that's another curling rink off my checklist. So, April 3rd, we had Lavender Cemetery Annual General Meeting. April 4th, I dropped into the 3-on-3 tournament in Creemore. Looked like everybody's having a lot of fun, and commend too, the medals looked fantastic, rec department. I was really happy with them. Attended Good Roads with several of the other councillors here. April 8th, Jarlette, yeah, I'm totally impressed with that building, and as the mayor said in a statement that day, we can't wait till we see the second one start. Later that day, had Committee of Adjustment as well. So, April 10th, we had Log Cabin meeting in Creemore, and then I slipped over to watch Docs on Ice in Creemore and spoke with some of the volunteers from our local hospital that were helping them out, so it was good to see some people I knew there. And April 11th, I dropped in at Huron Tractor in Cashtown there. They had Simcoe County Federation of Ag, had a child education program, and I understand there was like 100 kids went through the program, and thank our Clearview Fire Department for participating in that. That's all I have.
Thank you. You went to a lot of the same events I did. Well done. Congratulations again, Skip. I can't wait to have the warden here. It'll be great. All right, Councillor Broderick, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. On March the 24th, attended Simcoe County Council. March 26th, attended the Clearview Chamber of Commerce special meeting. On the 27th, attended the Sunnydale Hall Board meeting and AGM, where I became the interim chair. And as interim chair, I think I need to inform you of the pancake breakfast coming up on April the 18th. And Euchre's going to start again on Wednesday evenings, beginning in May. April 29th, attended the 29th to April 1st, attended the Good Roads event. April 2nd, the special meeting, and April 7th, the Green Shirt Day Organ Donor Awareness flag raising. That is it.
Well, thank you so much. Well done. Well done. Deputy Mayor.
Thank
Paul?
you, thank you,
How are
Worship. Good. As most of you are aware, I'm a little ways from home right now. But we did do, the mayor and myself and several others, Councillor Walker did the 3-on-3 grand opening on the Good Friday the 6th. And Doug did a great job as usual. It was an excellent tournament to see the kids excited. I know we were down a little bit this year, but hopefully by next year we'll be boosted back up in numbers again. On the 9th, we did the Hall of Fame, and we're working on that. That's coming along very nicely, and dates will come forward with that as far as when the actual function will be. The Bursary and Grant Committee meeting coming up. I heard our Singhampton group presenting, and I'll just say we do have a second intake coming up in September, and there's a few groups that did not apply this year, so we would look forward to their applications if we can help other groups, sort of thing. So keep that in mind, especially our Singhampton group. I will be attending next Friday. The NVCA will be our first meeting after all the announcements that have gone on with the restructuring and stuff. So I'll be there for that one. And I will report back as far as what's been going on or what's going to be going on. Like the mayor mentioned earlier, there's so many things right now, whether it be with our governance or whether it be with the NVCA jurisdictions. There's so many things the government has not defined right now. So we'll be looking forward to dealing with that. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, we look forward to having you back in the country, and we look forward to you continuing to represent us at the NVCA, Paul. Thank you so much for that. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow, by the way, at the County Council meeting too. Now, I have a couple of things I want to talk about. I must tell you, this was quite a spectacular Sunday for me. It was just this past Sunday, yesterday. On Sunday, I went to a 65th wedding anniversary for Alan and Mary Wine. Fantastic, great couple, had their family there. It was really great to see them. Congratulations, 65 years, just a wonderful thing. And then that evening, I went to a 65th wedding anniversary for Robert and Ruth Bell. And this is the part that makes it really interesting. Both of them these two couples are both from Clearview Township, and both of them were married in Clearview Township on April the 8th. Their wedding anniversary date is exactly the same. How crazy is that? And they're both made 65 years. I'm so pleased for them. It was really nice. Great to see all their families, and it was just really great. I want to send out congratulations to Jarlettes, the Stainer Care Center grand reopening. It really is a nice facility. It's very comfortable. The residents there are well served, and it's a beautiful facility, and they have all the great safety features in there, but they also have a really good sense of home. And I'm so impressed with the way they've designed it, the color scheming that they've done, and it's a really comfortable place to go. It doesn't have that, it doesn't have those negativisms that you think of when you think of a retirement home. It is a real home, and there's lots of activities, and they have just a great time, entertainment, and I think they have a little bar night every once in a while, and it's a lot of fun. So they're really, really a great spot. I did have a conversation with a couple of the members of the Jarlett family and the executives, and as Councillor MacArthur mentioned, they are planning to build that second unit. They're already in the throes of that second building. They're moving ahead with their financing on it. So they will be approaching our planning department to get some plans underway to move that forward. So we'll look forward to that coming in the near future. And I think that's all part and parcel, actually, of us getting our water online, with our new water servicing, to show that water capability is there to provide these type of services that are really needed in our community. Again, we've already mentioned it, we're teasing you guys, but I'm so proud of Robert Walker, Phyllis Deneen, Marty Beelan, and Robert MacArthur, Skip, in winning this curling thing. This is just good job.
Well done, Marty. Well done, Phyllis. Well done, Robert. I mean, oh, sorry, that's right. I didn't get Robert Walker. It's not Robert Walker. It's MacArthur here. That's right. And what's his name? Dale Lightheart. Dale Lightheart. There we go. He's awesome. Great job, team. Good to see you there. And glad to see that the team really worked out well. Just want council to know and the public, I had a really good meeting with Brian Saunderson. He came to sit with me for about an hour in my office, and we had a long talk about a lot of issues, including growth in our community, including, so I basically grilled him a little bit about the whole governance review at the county of Simcoe, and we had a better understanding of how things went. So it was a good meeting with Brian. Brian remains available to speak to any of us actually on council or any members of the public. His offices are right here in our town of Stayner, and he's got a terrific staff that'll find time to make sure that you can get an audience with him. Fantastic job at the 3-on-3 hockey tournament. It was already mentioned. Well done. The medals were well received. Great pictures. Grace, you look great out there presenting all those medals. It really was good. And I congratulate the entire team that puts this together, as well as the volunteers that work on it. And I tell you what, it really brings awareness about what Clearview Township is in recreation by all the teams that come from near and far to come and participate here. It's just really great. I'm glad that we're able to host that event, as well as also the Docks on Ice event. So on Saturday morning, I was down in Creemore at 8 o'clock in the morning to meet the Docks that were there. They asked me to do a ceremonial puck drop, which was kind of fun. So the teams were Ottawa and Sudbury, the two teams. And both of them really liked our facility and said that the Stayner rink is great. They played a game there, and now they're playing a game in Creemore. And it was really great to see them. And just by the way, if you follow the Ottawa 67s hockey team, you might remember the vintage jersey. That's the three color, the black, red, white. Kind of looks like a football jersey. It looks like the old Rough Riders jersey. But that's what they were wearing for their Ottawa team, the old Ottawa 67s jersey, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of a vintage jersey for the Docks. So look good. Anyway, and of course, the last thing I do want to mention is that cheering in the stands this season for our hometown team, the Stayner Siskins, has been an absolute pleasure. I enjoyed every game that I got to. I wish the team all the best. It's unfortunate that they did not move on, but I must say, in our area, winning the Carruthers Cup, Carruthers Division Cup, is a real feather and a compliment to the Stayner Siskins to win that, as the cup is named after one of our, people in our community, Siv Carruthers, who was a big part of sport and a builder in our community for sure in sport, and a bit of a character, that's for sure. So really happy for the Siskins that they did win the Carruthers Cup. Sad that they didn't get to move on in the North Division, but it's a tough team, that Fergus team this year. I have friends with the Hanover Barons, and they had to go to battle with them as well. So it's a tough team. Anyway, we'll be following the Junior C activities starting next season for sure, and welcome the Siskins back. And I'm sure the fans will enjoy that. And as always in the stands, whenever there's a goal scored by the Stayner Siskins, it's Stayner, do you one another? And so yes, we do. Yes, we do. So anyway, that's all I have to say at this time. It was a great week and busy times. I've got a busy week ahead of me. So yes, go ahead. Do you have something else, Robert? Go ahead.
Yeah, just my conversation with Gord. Gord, can you repeat what success your daughter had this past weekend?
Oh, do you got a sporting update, Gord?
Seeing as we're talking sports.
Come on up quick and tell us what happened there.
Thank you. So my daughter participated in the Canadian National Broomball Championships, Ladies Elite Division, and they beat Quebec in the finals, 3 periods of overtime, 1-0 to take home the championship. So,
wow.
Tawny's Clearview born and bred, went to school at SCI, and is in the medical profession in Collingwood. So
3 periods of overtime.
Yep, to win
Wow.
1-0. Yep.
What a game.
Yeah,
Well, congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you very much for sharing that. That's great. I see Paul's got his hand up too. Go ahead, Paul.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just want clarification. When you go to county council tomorrow, will you be having any challenges with Mayor Norcross out of New Tech? I do believe you normally have a sweater wearing situation. Can you clarify that, please?
Yeah, that's very true. There is a sweater challenge between the Alliston Hornets and the Stainer Siskins. I have Mayor Norcross's Stainer Siskin jersey for him to wear, as we did win the Carruthers Cup against him, and so he has assured me that he will do it. Mayor Norcross, however, is away tomorrow's meeting. He will not be at our meeting, so that's okay. I reminded him today by text that I have the jersey, and I will bring it right to his council meeting if necessary. But so nevertheless, Mayor Norcross got a good sense of humor, but he's not going to be at our county meeting, Paul. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up. All right. Council, that's been great. I'm glad we get to do these board reports and bring good information and share what's going on in our communities. We're going to move on. Item number 10 is our department reports. The Recreation Department have basically dominated this entire page because I have 4 different reports here from them. So we'll start with the first one, which is report PCR 004-2026. It's in regard to the Youth Center, Stainer Community Center Hall, permanent usage for a 2-year term. I'll read the recommendation, I'll look for a mover and seconder, if any, and then we can have a debate about it. Recommendation, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PCR 004-2026, the Youth Center, a Stainer Community Center Hall, permanent usage 2-year term, dated April the 13th, 2026. Item 1, that Council approve using the north end of the Stainer Community Center Hall and boardroom facility for the youth center operations on a permanent basis for a period up to 2 years. And item 2, that Council approve utilizing the south end of the Stainer Community Center Hall for the Clearview Public Library and other Township of Clearview recreation-related programming only. And item 3, that Council approve pausing rentals of the Stainer Community Hall for external social rentals and events during the 2-year period. Is there a mover and seconder on this motion, please? Mr. Beelan, thank you. Councillor Deneen is the seconder. Thank you very much. Okay, Terry, Mr. Vachon, our director, can you please outline for us anything in this report beyond what's on the report that you'd like to highlight?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship, and thanks for allowing me the opportunity to add a few more comments. So yes, as you and council may know, the youth center right now is set up temporarily at the Stainer Memorial Community Center Hall. We are using the north, we call the Lions Club North Boardroom, and in the north end of the hall, we have a portable wall that's been set up. We're there due to the fact that we had to leave our previous location with the hope that we were going to be moving into the Stainer Care Center sometime in between April and June of this year. Recently council made a decision to allow the Belmont crew to temporarily relocate in that location, which has set back the youth center plans for a couple of years. The youth center has been set up in its existing location in a modified state for the last 6 to 7 months, and we're doing the best we can with what we got. A lot of the youth are not using the amenities that they're used to using in that location. It's temporary in nature. We have to be able to set up and take down on a daily basis to be able to provide the hall to other users. Right now, the youth center are using the location 4 days a week. We have the north boardroom, which fits about 6 to 8 youth, and we get anywhere between 25 to 30 youth on a regular basis. So we're pretty busy. We also use the kitchen that's next to the hall. We use it 2 to 3 times a week, specifically on Tuesdays for cooking class to teach the youth how to cook. In our proposal, we are quite flexible in the kitchen. It also gets used by other groups, but the kitchen is not an issue. That can easily be shared. And as I mentioned earlier, Your Worship, that we are saving a little bit of money right now as we're not paying for rent. Also, the south end of the hall gets used by a lot of groups, the VON senior group that uses it as a walking class. library programs, active rec programs, and we're proposing that would continue to happen. Some of the rec programs is the lawn bowling group that you're aware of. They were using the length of the hall, and we did some tests the last couple of weeks, and they could actually use the width. We were a little nervous that perhaps the width wasn't long enough, but it is, and they could use it that way. Also, there are, as Lions Club members would know, the North Boardroom was built to be able to provide non-for-profit organizations a place to meet. So we're proposing to continue to use the south end of that hall for those purposes, to allow those groups to continue to have their meetings. The goal here, Your Worship, it's a friendly proposal to Council, is to bring some amenities back that the youth were used to using, specifically items such as the pool table, the ping pong table, computer stations. So a lot of youth would use these computer stations to do their homework or do some research or whatnot. Staff office area, some check-in desks, a gaming center. So they're used to having 2 or 3 areas with big TVs to do some of their gaming. Storage is always a premium, and right now we're very limited. We're using one of the washrooms in the boardroom as our storage area in a temporary state, so there's a need for storage. Also, we, as you know, and our coordinator has presented in the past, we have a lot of partners that we use at the youth center for, specifically youth at risk. We partner up with the Simcoe Health Unit and other partners who come on site and meet youth. Right now, they're temporarily using space in the library, those, what do you call those rooms again? I forget. Yeah, those study rooms. They're using that, but Your Worship, as you know, it's windows, it's wide open. There's not really much privacy in those rooms, so we're hoping to be able to provide some space for some of our partners and users to be able to meet the students. Right now, again, it's on a modified basis. And finally, we'd like to add a lot of furniture into the space to be able to let kids relax and lounge versus sitting in hall tables and chairs. So we're going to provide a bit more of a more relaxed location for youth to wind down and socialize with their colleagues. We are aware, Your Worship, that there are some groups that are going to be displaced. Groups that use the hall, the complete hall for social gatherings, specifically at Christmas time. We know it's a bit, from what we're asking, it's going to ask them to perhaps be flexible for perhaps one Christmas. Our proposal here is for up to 2 years, but really it's going to mirror the Belmont crew and how quick they move back to their old location. So we're kind of friendly asking some of them to, for one winter, one Christmas, to perhaps use other halls that we have amongst Clearview Township for their Christmas party, to assist us in providing an annual weekly service to our youth. Finally, Your Worship, I just want to mention that I want to thank my team here, Miss Felicia here, she's our new coordinator, Miss Murray and Miss Beeman. We work as a team. We try to get creative thoughts, and unfortunately, this is the only creative thought that we have to be able to bring back some of the amenities that the youth are. We wish there was other venues we could use. We wish there was other opportunities, but to our knowledge, there's none. And this is the really turnkey, cheapest way for us to be able to do that, is to be able to convert the hall for the youth center usage. We are definitely open to other ideas that council may have. And we're not saying that the youth center will not operate. We're just trying to bring back the amenities that they're used to. With that, Your Worship, thank you for allowing me to add a few comments. I know it's a little bit long, and I'm definitely available for any questions.
All right, thank you very much, and that's exactly why I always do this. I always ask the author of the reports if they would like to comment, and this is valuable information that council needs to hear before we move ahead with any type of discussion. So thank you for that. I'll look to our members. Are there any members who wish to speak or ask questions or have comments? Any members? Mr. Van Staveren, I see you first. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. To Director Vachon, I can't agree more with your comments. I think it's a great opportunity. Be aware that our council will be looking at other options over this 2-year period of what other things we can be doing. But I am concerned that we have a few annual functions that, like when we used to say the word pausing, I would like to use the word limiting in the motion from the point of view. You mentioned about the Kinsman. The Kinsman's been a mainstay in that hall for years and years. We've had also the Heritage Society. We've had the Tai Chi now going in there for their annual things. I wonder if there's any flexibility that we can work with some of these groups. And as much as I know it's a set up and take down situation, I think you'd get a lot more bang for the buck from the community if you could work with some of these groups. Limit the social events. We have some great halls in this community. And they could be better utilized, so it's an opportunity to showcase them as well. So I just ask for some consideration for some of our long-term tenants, that's all.
All right, thank you very much for that. Terry, do you have any comment you'd like to respond to?
Thank you, Your Worship. I wish I could say that it would be an easy process to set up and take down. I think logistically it would be very challenging. You know, if there's a real urgent special project and we have 2, 3, or 4 days to be able to take down and set back up again, there could be some flexibility around that, but it would really have to be a special project. Like the pool table as an example right now, it's in 8 different pieces. It needs to be professionally set up and professionally take down. So there's a heck of a process there. I wish I could say we can provide the most flexibility that we possibly can. You know, a lot of those groups could still use the south end of the hall. We're not completely eliminating it, but if some of those groups, the non-social groups, can use half of the hall, it won't be a problem. If they absolutely have to use the full hall, Your Worship, I think it will be a problem. So what we're asking this evening is to be able to save that workload and having to set up and take down. The kitchen, not a problem. The south end of the hall, not a problem. It's just the entire hall. It's a lot of work.
Fair enough. All right, I appreciate that. Are there other members of council have any questions? Mr. Walker first.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. A few years ago, when we decided that we were going to set up a youth committee and a youth center, we made a commitment at that point in time. And I think we need to continue to make that commitment to the youth of that northern part of the hall, to set it up, to leave it set up, and encourage the youth to use that hall to the best of their ability. They're so used to having a facility to meet, to seek help, for guidance, and I think it continues for us to make that commitment and keep that commitment for them, for that hall. As well as we've also made a commitment to Belmont for that hall for the old Standard Care Center, and hopefully that they can get there, if there's issues in trying to get things moving forward, that they can resolve those and get moving on with their rebuild as soon as possible. Having the library and other groups use the South Hall, I'm wondering if at some point, Terry, if you talked about non-social groups, but at one point, if half a hall would host, 75 people at max, maybe? If that South Hall could be used for rentals of family gatherings, birthday parties, because we've rented in the past minimum 3 hours, and those types of things in that hall, moving some chairs and tables down into that hall in the corner so that none of that has to be going through the youth center section. As far as washrooms, if you've got nothing going on the arena side, a portable sign that creates the one ladies washroom into a men's washroom on that south end, as well as they also have a handicap washroom that they can utilize as well. I think there's an opportunity to use that south end for small rental groups, maybe no alcohol, and tell them no kitchen, maximum 75. You've got the bar, you've got the fridge, you've got the freezer, and you can set up in there and utilize it for those types of functions. I think that would be, we're reaching out and saying, yes, this is all we have at this point in time, but we're willing to work with those smaller groups that need something local to have a hall. So I will support this, and I hope that the rest of council see fit that Our youth is important, and we need to commit that we are going to continue to commit to their well-being and their growth.
All right, thank you very much. I think I saw Councillor Deneen's up first, and then I saw Mr. Beelan.
I just wanted to make mention, Station on the Green works that way. It gets divided in half, and it's done by a certain length of time and everything, so I do believe
Thinking
something
around
like that
7:30 I'll
could
be
be done.
done, but if they want to come over at 7:30.
Just mute your mic there, Paul. Paul, you want to mute your mic there? Thank you. Hi, Adina.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just want to say the same thing as Moose pretty well. The youth group is doing so well. It's a shame if we can't keep them going, and that we have to remind ourselves that we're doing this for the people that were displaced from the Belmont. So, I mean, there are other halls in the township, and especially in Stayner here that I can think of. But one other thing that I know they do in the New Lowell Legion with the pool table, they just cover it, and you can use it as a serving table or display table or whatever. So if you had to rent the north part of the hall, maybe you could just find a nice piece of plywood and a cover of some kind, tablecloth, and maybe you don't have to move it back and forth if there was a time you had to use the north end of the hall. That's all I got to say.
All right, thank you very much for that. Other members? Mr. MacArthur, please.
Yeah, I'm kind of with both sides here, so got to speak out both sides of my mouth, I guess. Yeah, I need to support the youth, but I'm really thinking, through the mayor to the rec department, can you kind of narrow down, like, is the main rentals in the Christmas season, probably, for these bigger groups?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Through you to Councillor MacArthur. Yeah, most of them are. We do have the odd celebration of life that come up, like a larger celebration of life that require a big venue. We may have some of those that come up over the course of the season. And also, we used to get a lot of weddings. Weddings is a funny one. The groups seem to be having weddings. They're not having the weddings in these halls anymore. They seem to be having them on private locations. So we've seen a real dip in weddings. We used to have quite a bit of them. Well, quite a bit, maybe half a dozen of them per year. But yeah, the bulk of the full hall usage rentals are in the months of November and December.
Yeah, so my thought is that maybe for those 2 months, we got to try and do something. Open it up on the weekends for those Christmas events, which people are accustomed to. As Councillor Beelan said, we can push the stuff into one corner. I don't know whether we have many divider boards or whatever throughout different halls or whatever to, section a corner off for that storage purposes or not. But, and another thought just came to mind, like if we can find another location, what about Byng School? There's a big gym there. I don't know how complicated or not complicated that would be to approach them.
I'll speak about Byng School briefly. Again, another school topic, guys. Think about that. We tried to negotiate with the school board. We attempted to create an agreement, and it just wasn't going to work out, that it was hugely impossible for us to accept the terms that they were asking of us, given that we were looking to use a small portion of the building, and yet they wanted us to insure basically the whole building. And if you know that old building, Mr. Walker, we don't want to insure that building. It's an old building. So in the end, it just wasn't going to happen. We did try, but thank you for that. And I know that we will be hearing more from the school board about that facility later on, but that's not the topic today. So yes, I appreciate your comments about whether we can find another location. I'm going to get you, Mr. Broderick, but since I'm on the roll here, I'm going to mention, in our community of Stayner, each of our churches have some pretty nice halls themselves. Certainly, the St. Patrick's Parish Hall comes to mind. It's a great facility, and in fact, thinking of the Christmas season, the Kinsmen have used that particular hall in the past for big events that they've held, not at Christmas, but they have used that hall. And so I would suggest that is a possibility for them to consider. There's also other churches in our community that have big hall spaces, and at various levels of cooperation. The gymnasium that's just across the street over here, that's at the church right over here, that's one. But as it was mentioned earlier, we have beautiful halls all over our township. Like, we absolutely do. Straight down County Road 91 is the other big hall in this town called Duntroon, and it's a fabulous big hall. And so it could be used for sure for any type of big functions. And I know the volunteers that run that hall have a pretty good sort of system on how they do it, and they can set it up and tear it down and help the rentals. People can use it. And not to mention the investment that's been made by the taxpayers and by all of us in the Evening Hall and the Sunnydale Hall, both absolutely beautiful facilities now. And the Sunnydale, boy, it's busy. It's getting busier all the time. So much so, actually, that we at the township are renting it a couple times ourselves to do our economic development discussions that we've been having, with the one-on-one meetings as well as the group sessions. So, it's being used in the daytime, it's being used at nighttime. It's just a great hall. And they've got a pancake breakfast coming up, which nobody mentioned, but I guess we should mention that's coming up. So we want to support them. So there are facilities that can help. And back to the comment that Mr. Beelan said, we're here because we made a conscious choice to make sure that the seniors from the Belmont were brought back to this community. They weren't going to be sitting in a hotel in Midland. We wanted to make sure that those seniors were given the dignity and respect to come back to the community that they know, and also to bring those jobs back here too. Because the Belmont had opportunity to cut a whole bunch of jobs, and so we wanted to make sure that those jobs were brought back here so that it helps the economy and helps people, have employment. And we own a facility that was a former long-term care facility. It's now been being used as a retirement facility. And we sent a very clear message to them that it would be a 2-year term that they're in there. So I know that they're working diligently to try to get the remains of the original Belmont, demoed, and then put it all in the bins out front. And then they'll be working with our building department and planning department to construct a new facility. So we just have to keep an eye on that for sure. But the decision, it was a conscious decision that we made as a council to do those things, put us in a position why we are here today dealing with the youth center. So, well, we do have some little critters. Is that a hornet flying around? Something's buzzing around here. Anyway, it's spring, those little critters, they wake up. Anyway, so thank you very much. I just wanted to speak on those two items. And I'll look to Mr. Broderick. You're up next then. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. I really appreciate everyone's thoughts on this, but just on the thought of pushing things around, just to use one example, many years ago I had my own pool table, and I can tell you from experience, they don't like to be pushed around.
All right, I can just see you as a bit of a pool shark. I can just say, okay, I'll have to hear more about that, Mr. Broderick. Okay. Councillor Janine, go ahead.
I was just thinking, I saw that the Stainer Camp too has renovated their spot, and apparently it's quite nice, and it's open for functions too. That's about it for me. I just remembered seeing that.
Okay. So, if I can, I think everyone's had a chance to speak. I give everybody a chance to be brief if they want something else to say, but I want to get back to a little bit of clarity about the South Hall. There were some good points brought up about this discussion about how we could use it, how, as Mr. Walker pointed out, that a small social rental could be accommodated. And I really desperately do not want council to be involved in any type of scheduling. You guys have facilities. The facilities are yours as professionals to work with the community. You know the parameters of what we expect as council to serve our community to the best of your abilities and provide fairness and equality and equity to each of them. And so I would ask I don't want to see the public coming back to us asking to use the hall because you guys said, no, you couldn't have it. So come up with a decision through the CAO and through the director and through your staff on how you can make those decisions and make it work. But I would ask you to be conscious that we want to help our community and help our community groups use these type of facilities. So, Mr. Vachon, you understand the ask that I'm making without having to do a directive of council, because it is the responsibility of the staff to do the scheduling. So,
Yes, crystal clear, Your Worship, and fully support the ideas that brought forward by council. The South Hall can definitely be used and rented out to non-social. Yes, Your Worship, council has invested in an extensive recreation booking software. So once this gets put into place, it provides the availability to the public via our website. Again, it's on a first come, first served basis. They could see when the hall is booked, they could see when it's available, and they just book accordingly. So I feel very confident that we will be able to provide a very fair and equitable option to public who want to use the south end of the hall.
all right, appreciate those comments and thank you. And through the CAO, I'm sure you guys can work this all out as the motion says. But I would not hold you to every letter of this motion about, halting and pausing all rentals for external social rentals. I think that there will be exceptions, particularly over a 2-year period. And so I would ask you to be flexible. I don't want to put it in writing on here because I would ask our clerk to be highly detailed when it's not necessary at this point, given the fact that we don't even know what the rentals might be. So I think that you can work with that and be professionals and come to a decision. Fair enough? Council, any questions or comments on those comments? You're all good with that? All right, can I ask, does anybody have any amendments to this motion? Nothing? All right. And council, I think we've had a good discussion. I'll give you one last chance. Anybody else? Okay, yes, go ahead, please, Robert.
Yeah, through Your Worship, I'm just thinking for some of these groups that are, their hometown is Stayner, if we could, I don't know whether we can or we can't, but can we offer some kind of assistance if they do have to go out of town, where we'd provide a bus or something for transportation that they could all gather at the Stayner Arena like they'd be used to. And something along that lines, just to, and let's hope that it is only for one season, one holiday season, and not to.
I would suggest that it's an interesting concept, but I would say that if a group wants to apply through the grant program, that's where they could find that type of funding. As you know, we do not change the fee structures in the grant program, and we do not support grants for fees of our own services. So, but that would be a programming service. I would consider a bus would be a programming service. So, might be an additional thing that may be something our grants committee. I'm looking at you, Councillor Deneen, and Councillor or Deputy Mayor. You might be able to consider that. So, Phyllis, you have your card up. Please go right ahead.
You're asking about amendments, and it says, and other Township of Clearview recreation-related programming only in there. So do we want to take that out at this time?
That's a good recommendation. Council, yeah, Council approved utilizing the south end of the Stayner Community Center Hall for the Clearview Public Library.
And other Township of Clearview recreation-related programming only.
Yeah. So that's the part that you want to take out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you took that out, it's recreation-related programming only. We could take out the only, the word only maybe.
Yes.
You could take that out.
Because they're going to program what they want and what they can't accommodate.
Yeah. You could take out only. I think that wouldn't hurt. would you like to, could I ask, is there a seconder on that? Ideal, just thank you, Mr. MacArthur. Friendly, we can, that's why I'm going to go next. Is this a friendly
Yes.
council? Paul, friendly? Yes, no? Yep, okay. All right, council, we'll consider that a friendly. That'll just be an amendment that the clerk can remove. And there you go. Anything else? All right. I've read the motion with the small amendment. We have a mover and seconder. Council, I am prepared to call the motion. Those in favor? That carries. Thank you very much, council. Good luck. This is a complicated one. I don't envy this role, but I do want to welcome Felicia to our new role. She's here. I guess your first time appearing with us as our in your new role. So welcome.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship.
It's nice to have you here. Good luck. I tell you what, once it gets all set up, I want you to invite council over so we can go and play some pool, because I want to see how Broderick does.
Absolutely.
Is that a game? Okay, we're good. All right, thank you so much, everyone. We're going to move on. Another one. We've got the Singhampton Memorial Park upgrades. This is another report from our PCR department. Recommendation be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PCR 005 2026. Singhampton Memorial Park and Playground Grant application dated April 13, 2026. Item 1, that Council, in recognizing the Singhampton Memorial Park as a municipal capital facility, approve of staff assisting the board in making an application to the Farm Credit Canada Agra Spirit Fund not to exceed $25,000 for the purpose of the Parks Playground Capital Project. Item 2, the Council approves using the Township of Clearview's Canada Helps fundraising program to accept online donations for the Singhampton Memorial Park capital improvements for a period of up to 2 years. All right, Councillor MacArthur, would you like to move this? Thank you. Mr. Broderick, second. Thank you. All right, who would like to speak to this? Amanda Murray, nice to see you.
Thank you very much, Your Worship, and once again, hello to Council. The information within the report is pretty self-explanatory, but I would like to acknowledge that the members of the Singhampton Memorial Park trustees and their volunteers are in attendance tonight. This is a very exciting project for the village of Singhampton to support. And when the volunteers approached the township seeking some assistance with the grant writing with the FCC, as well as being able to access the Canada Helps online website, we took that opportunity to review those 2 initiatives, also to review the bylaw that is in place, recognizing the Singhampton Memorial Park as a capital facility. And our recommendation is that council support proceeding with these types of initiatives, and that I would work collaboratively with the volunteers for the grant application, as well as being able to support the charitable donations through the Canada Helps program. So also of interest in the council report is a conceptual design only, but just a little sneak peek or a little snapshot of what the new playground will look like at the Singhampton Park. Currently, there is no playground structure there. Unfortunately, it was damaged extensively during a number of winter storms and was deemed to be unsafe. So there is definitely a desire to move forward on their grant application, as well as supporting their donations and their fundraising drive. So happy to answer any more questions if there is any.
Thank you very much. It is a good report and a good story and a good collaboration. So I'm glad that this came forward. Members of council, do you have any questions to Amanda about this, or other members of the staff? Mr. MacArthur? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, when we're into the grant application, is there any other grants that can be applied for? Hasn't anybody researched that, or?
Amanda?
Yes, thank you. Through your worship. There would possibly be other grants. This one is the most timely. The grant window opens this week in April, and it closes the middle of May with a very fast notification period. So being able to be somewhat shovel ready with this project this grant seems to be the most appropriate, as well as it does meet the needs. The Farm Credit Canada application is really about supporting rural communities and those that have a very strong agricultural base. So Singhampton is really an ideal village or community to be applying for this grant. And then us, through the township, we would receive the funds in order to pass those along through our capital projects. So there are other grant programs. As those come out, we do evaluate them. This seemed to be the most fitting, and it was a project that the volunteers brought forward to us.
Congratulations, too, to the fundraising efforts. I know that our firefighter association for Station 5 participated in the Small Hall Festival and did some fundraising there for this event as well. So thank you to those men and women of the fire department. They do a great job on a lot of things they do, that's for sure. Other members of council, is any other questions? All right. Can I just ask members of the group here, did the ice storm damage the playground equipment, or was this just over the time of the period of the equipment just getting aged out?
Thank you, Your Worship. No, well, it's worn out.
It was worn out.
There was wood structures.
Yeah.
I have a lot of pictures, and one of them says, use at your own risk.
Sure.
And that was an insurance thing, but when you look at the equipment, we'd have to have a splinter kit for every kid that came in.
Gotcha.
So, and
Yeah.
the metal structures were rusty. So it was about time, and we were forced by, you've already mentioned it, insurance, that they wouldn't cover it. So in June of 2024, we did a demolition with the community. It took us about 8 hours to take it all down. It's going to take us a little longer to put it back up, but
sure,
it's we're partway there. Our plan is to build this summer the swing set. We have enough funds for a swing set, which according to all the playground people is the drawing card.
Sure it is.
To get the kids out. And it'll have 2 strap swings, a toddler swing, and an accessible swing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you're doing swing sets, I encourage you to have a conversation with Terry Vachon about buying the chains. Terry knows all about buying the chains for swing sets.
Hopefully ours come with the chains.
Well, I'll tell you what, he went through a long time to get the right chains because the insurance company was very specific about chains. So you might want to have a conversation.
Well, he's what sparked this thing, because I brought this FCC grant to him last year.
Okay.
But we didn't have the time, and we didn't have an opportunity to come for it to be brought to council for approval to get the funds to go through council.
100%.
So this is perfect timing.
Okay. All right, well, thanks.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear it wasn't damaged by the ice storm. I know there was a lot of damage up in Singhampton from the ice storm, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, okay, so we did clear, it took us about 3 days to clear the park.
Oh, sure, yeah, I know, the trees were down everywhere. I saw it.
And
so,
I also want to thank Terry for helping us. We got all the debris on the side of the road, but we had to make a special request to get it.
The playground equipment, I'm sure, was a sort of a first aid training prop.
It was.
Right? There you go. Yeah. So, okay, thanks very much for that. Mr. Van Staveren has his hand up. Go ahead, Paul.
Thank you, Worship. I just would like clarification, the way they were talking about this capital grant. We do not own the community center, but we do own the land from this park?
No, that's not true. The park and the community center are owned by the trustees, and we have an agreement with them for the park space as a community asset.
Okay.
That was actually last term of council. I think we put that together. Paul or Terry, perhaps you could refresh council with that. Do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, actually, you know what, Amanda, she's more familiar with that agreement. I think it was actually, it might even been 2 terms ago. I don't think it was last term. It's been a while. I think it was before my time, to be honest. But I'll let Ms. Murray kind of comment on that agreement, if I may.
Well, thank you. I may defer to the clerk at some point, but the agreement was done actually in 2017, and it was to deem the Memorial Park as a capital facility, partially for the purposes of taxation as well as supporting the trustees with future planning. At no point would the town take it over unless the agreement comes to an end. There are dates stipulated with the agreement that if either party doesn't uphold their bargain of the agreement, that it would revert to a township facility, but that's not the intent. The intent of this, bringing this agreement, just to provide some education and some background for council and for the members of the committee right now, just to be aware that it is deemed a capital facility, and because of that reason, through our department and with staff resources, we'd be able to provide additional layers of support for making these grant applications. So, but the agreement is from 2017, so it is a number of years old now, but still in effect.
All right. Is it the type of agreement that's going to need to be reviewed after we make these changes, like building the building and, no? Just,
nope, not at all, sir. It's pretty much open to having these like additional components or amenities like the playground.
Yeah.
So.
And the playground equipment is considered updating and maintenance of it anyway, so that's perfect, yeah.
Correct.
Did you want something else, Andy? You know, we're gracious to let you speak.
I feel gracious, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So the one thing, all the names, even including the mayor and the clerk and whoever signed it back in those days, along with our trustees, there's nobody on that list. So we will have to update it and put new lines in for the current trustees and of course yourself.
Sure.
We may want to wait till after October, but we could do it anytime.
Very good.
Thank you.
Happy to do that. Okay, I see Paul's got his hand up again, and now Phyllis. Go ahead, Paul.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just want to make the comment. I know I've been working with comments from the community, and CAO Ferguson has stepped up to help with certain costs because we want to treat this organization as we would any other organization in our community. So if we can do a little extra or whatever, it's so nice to see our committee or our staff helping with the grants, but we will be helping them elsewhere too. So thank you.
Good comments, absolutely. Councillor Deneen.
Not to be a stickler for timing, but it says that the term is until December 31st, 2035. And I don't think I'm going to be here then, so somebody is going to have to continue this. So that's what it says in the agreement.
There you go. Thank you very much for that. 2035. There you go. Sadly, that'll come up very quickly, just saying. Marty, you had something?
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm just looking at the conceptual drawing of the play equipment. Is that supposed to be $100,000 worth of stuff, or is that just a picture of playground stuff? Get out of town for that. It doesn't look like that much, but wow. You do have to have the sand underneath it, right? For drainage, and then you have to have the sand. Okay, maybe that's why it's so expensive.
All right, thanks. Okay, thank you very much. Nothing further, everybody? We're good? Council, you got a motion in front of you. I believe we have a mover and seconder, so I am prepared to call the motion. Those in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Good luck with this project. Thank you, Amanda, for stepping up and working on this project with them. Appreciate it. Council, we got some good news here. Signature events for 2026. That is quite a list. I looked it over. Recommendation be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PCR 006-2026, the signature events for 2026 dated April the 13th, 2026 for information. Mr. Deputy Mayor, would you like to move that? Thank you. Mr. Walker, thank you. And Grace 2 Beeman is right here. How are you doing there, Grace?
I'm fantastic. Thank you, Your Worship, and good evening, members of council. Now it's my turn to step to the plate from our department. Obviously, event season is upon us. As many of you guys were at our 3-on-3 youth hockey tournament, that's just the start of our very busy year. As you can see in our list, all of our signature and community events that we support throughout the year. There's not too many changes from last year. We're pretty much standard quo, and very excited to to help with our additional Clearview events and initiatives, such as our Short Mat Showdown, which is happening in 2 weeks. Hope to see you all there, April 27th at the Stainer Community Center. And as well, bringing back our Eco Spark Nights, just to name a few. Like always, we support our events, whether that's through equipment, having our tourism team on staff, on site to assist with setup, tear down, bringing the equipment to those locations, providing information for both visitors and residents, as well as doing counts throughout the event. They're also included in our marketing and promotional materials. So this includes our rack cards, advertisings, local radio stations, print advertising, social media and video campaigns, which a lot of those video campaigns are thanks to our partnership with RTO7. As well, we have our Discovering Clearview e-newsletter, which I hope everyone is subscribed to because we've got some good content on there. As well, we post event listings for each event, not only on our website, Discovering Clearview, as well as our clearview.ca, but as well as partners such as Tourism Simcoe County. We also hire a professional photographer to be on site. Usually everyone sees Dave West on site taking all of those fantastic pictures, and for us to be able to post those on our social media accounts to promote those events. And then as well, in terms of funding for this year, we've applied for 2 grants. One is the Ministry's Experience Ontario grant, as well as the County of Simcoe's Tourism, Culture and Sport Enhancement Program. We're supposed to be hearing this month, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we will hear successful news in the next couple weeks.
Thank you very much, Grace. It's going to be a busy summer as always, and takes us right through to the winter season as well, so good job. Looking forward to that. I would highlight that the, Winter Nights and Winter Lights, what did you call it? The Winter Lights, Winter Nights program?
Rural Lights and Winter
Rural
Nights.
Lights, that's the one. Perfect. Are we doing any upgrades to that this year? I know we built some nice, or bought some nice arches in the past, or is there anything happening to improve that or make that better, or replace damaged or missing units?
Yes, so it's on our tourism team's list. It's one of their big special projects. Over the summer, they're going to be taking a look at every single piece, replacing light bulbs where needed. Some of the webbing has started to fall off of those pieces, so either replacing or fixing that. The budget that we had to purchase what we have in our inventory came from grant funding. So that grant funding has now been used up. If there is an opportunity, we would love to add on. This year is our year to kind of move things around. And I'm looking this summer to maybe do some relocating, maybe make some parks a little bit grander. So that is in the plans for this year, but that's once we get closer to the season, that'll be something that we look into.
Okay. You know, it's funny, it's a small thing we do, but people really like it. I'm just saying, it really is. It's a great thing. Members of council, do you have any questions about the report and the fabulous group of events? Yes, Mr. Walker.
Just a follow-up, Your Worship, to your question about our tents. What shape are our tents in? Are we looking at some replacements, repairs, or, I mean, some of them are a few years old now, so just wondering what level they're at as far as durability is concerned.
Yeah, through your worship to Councillor Walker, that is a great question. That was just my job on Friday afternoon. Yeah, we have a couple of tents, the frames specifically, that they won't hold up very well. We piecemealed them together last summer, but they have now been discontinued, and we are purchasing 3 new tents with 3 new canopies. Now, some of the canopies that are on the frames currently that are getting retired this year, we're able to take those and do some swap outs because some of those canopies have seen their fair share of events, and it's time for them to have a great retirement as well. So we'll be doing a switcheroo. I'm just in the process of getting those replaced, as well as a few other pieces of equipment as well. So we're getting ready for the summer season. We've got 2 weeks till our tourism team starts, so we're very excited and we're getting everything prepared for them.
Good question and good point. Thank you. Other members or other questions? Yes, Mr. Beelan.
Thank you, Your Worship. Your Christmas in Clearview, does that include buying new signs or snowflakes or anything like that? Didn't we have some that were stolen from us, and did we get them back, or?
Through your worship to Councillor Beelan, we unfortunately did have a theft of one of our snowflakes this year at Station Park, unfortunately. Now, the Christmas in Clearview, it doesn't include that snowflake in particular. However, it does include lights that were actually stolen as well. We had 2 theft incidents at Station Park this winter, unfortunately. One that included I think it was the 6-foot snowflake, and one section of the shrubs that were around the gazebo. A whole section of lights were stolen. So we do have to replace all of those lights this year, and that goes towards that. The Christmas in Clearview also includes everything that we do at the Stainer tree lighting, as well as supporting the Creemore tree lighting and the Stainer Santa Claus Parade and Creemore Santa Claus Parade. So it's a very busy 3 days in Clearview Township with Christmas, but most of it does go towards the Stainer tree lighting, as that is our own event.
Good enough.
So when we lose our Christmas lights, Christmas still comes just the same. Is there anybody else with any other questions or comments? No? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Grace. And it does look like a great season. It's going to be very busy. I look forward to meeting some of the members of your new tourism team, and we look forward to seeing them. I guess they'll be at the duck race. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. The duck races is our first event out with the new team.
I'll look forward to meeting some of them there for sure. All right. All the best. Good luck. Good job. Members of council, you've got a report in front of you with a mover and seconder. Are there any questions? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you so much. Okay, and one more report from our very active Parks and Culture Recreation Department. This is the SOCAN Resound Licensing Agreement. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PCR 007-2026. SOCAN Resound Licensing Agreement dated April the 13th, 2026. And item 1, that Council approve the SOCAN licensing agreement and the sound licensing agreement with Entandem, is that it? Entandem Inc. For a 4-year period, as attached in Appendix A and B to this report, and that the mayor and clerk be authorized to sign the agreement on behalf of the township. Mr. Broderick, thank you. Mr. Walker again, thank you. Terry, do you want to speak to this, or Amanda? Nothing to say, really? I mean, this is a standard agreement that we do every year for our licensing of our audio features that happen in different places. Perhaps Amanda, or is it Grace, do you want to speak to that? Because I do know that it generally, all licensed music needs to be given permission to be played in public places. So that's why we have to do this, correct?
Yes, Your Worship and members of council. So this is just a formality. We have been paying our SOCAN and Resound licensing. It's part of our operations budget for every single recreation facility, which is our 2 arenas and 7 halls. So this is just for us to enter the agreement officially. We have done this in the past. It's just since lapsed, and it's just time to renew this agreement. So that's all this is.
Yep, thank you very much. I know you're talking about it as being recreation, but I think it also encompasses this building and our libraries. Is that right? Is this licensing for the entire public spaces of Clearview Township, right?
So this is just for recreation facilities in particular, because for our facilities, every facility that you're playing music in has certain tariffs that go with SOCAN and Resound. The tariffs that are listed within this report are the ones specific that will cover all events within both arenas and our 7 halls, whether that be live music or recorded in certain aspects. So this is just recreation facilities focused. It doesn't include the rest of our facilities throughout Clearview Township.
All right, so perhaps that's something that our senior managers can have a discussion about about this happening in different places around our township outside of our recreational facilities. So, very good. Any questions from members of council? Seeing none, we've got a mover and seconder. I am prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? Thank you. That carries unanimous. And thank you, Grace, for pinch hitting there for your two managers who didn't want to speak. I saw what happened there.
It's all about the experience, Your Worship.
I know. Okay, council, moving to 10.2, we've got an administration report from the CAO, Community and Situational Economic Analysis. The recommendation is, be it resolved, the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby received report CAO 006-2026, the Community and Situational Economic Analysis dated April the 13th, 2026, for information. Can I have that moved by, where is that? Councillor Deneen, Councillor MacArthur this time. Thank you very much. Our Community and Economic Development Officer, Briar Kelly, is here. Briar, first of all, I just want to acknowledge and thank you for the great work putting this together. I would encourage people to take a look at this report. Very amazing details about jobs and economic activity and so on that happens in our township. So thank you, Briar, for putting this together. Do you have anything you want to add?
Through you, Your Worship, yes, I believe the report sums it up fairly nicely, but essentially this document was prepared in collaboration with the consultants who are working through our economic development strategic plan, and this document will form that base. Included in this report is a socioeconomic and demographic profile, our labor market analysis, an assessment of the local business environment, as well as a comparative analysis benchmarking the township against the region and our comparable municipalities in the area as well. And finally, by sharing this document publicly with council, it opens up the opportunity that this report can be used as an additional resource tool for businesses, our stakeholders, and potential investors to gain access to the key market data and those labor market conditions that are specific to our community.
Excellent. It's a great report. In fact, council, if you've had a review of it, I'd like to suggest to the CAO that we actually get this published and printed into a document, paper piece that you can review and have it available to the members of the public. It's obviously available to download, but it is full of great details, and I think it's worthy of having it printed up. Mr. CAO, do you think you could accommodate us and have that prepared?
I think I can look into getting a certain number printed off, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Members of council, do you have any questions? No questions? It's a great report. Thank you. We have a mover and seconder on this report. I will call the motion. All those in favor? And that carries unanimous. Thank you so much. Well done. All right, item 10.3, we have a declaration of pecuniary interest here on this one. Mr. Broderick, thank you. And so I'll read this recommendation and then I'll look for a mover and seconder. It's report LS 001-2026, facility lease agreement, Wilcox Place for the Clearview Chamber of Commerce. Recommendation be it resolved, the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report LS 011-2026, facility lease agreement with Clearview Chamber of Commerce for the Wilcox Place dated April 13, 2026. Item 1, that Council approve allowing the Clearview Chamber of Commerce to utilize ground floor office space at Wilcox Place located at 7308A Highway 26 as per the proposed lease agreement attached as Appendix A. And item 2, that a bylaw formalizing the facility lease agreement with Clearview Chamber of Commerce be presented to Council for approval at the April 13, 2026 Council meeting. And I'll look for a mover and seconder. Where are we? Mr. MacArthur, thank you. Seconder, Mr. Walker, thank you. Let's see here. Madam Clerk, do you have anything you want to add to this? It's a good agreement.
Thank you, Worship. I think the report speaks for itself, but we do have representatives from the Chamber of Commerce here, Richard, Paul, and Rachel Broderick, if Council has any specific questions for them. Timing worked out great with the tourism students moving back into the actual tourism building. We had underutilized space at the Wilcox on the main ground floor, so it has a nice exposure for the Clearview Chamber of Commerce right on the main street.
That's excellent. Okay, I'll look forward to that. Is there any questions? Richard, would you like to come forward and speak? Please come right up. Tell us your role there, by the way, too.
Thank you, Your Worship. Richard Paul, I'm the Chamber Treasurer. I just wanted to say thank you to the township for being so accommodating to us. I want to thank Terry and Amanda for being great landlords while we were there. I'm sorry we couldn't stay there, but and we look forward to the renewed relationship with the township at the Wilcox Place. We have it set up the way we want. We have a nice little boardroom, a nice little office, and a nice little green room that we can take pictures with. And more specifically, thank you to Sasha and to Suzette for leading the charge on this as well.
Excellent. Glad to hear that. If this passes, Sasha will be your new landlord. I want you to know she's a stickler for details, as is her role. And, you know, she also likes to go to McDonald's too, like I do. So there you go. There you go. Council, is there any questions in regards to this report? Any questions from members? All right. Seeing none, thank you very much for your comments, and thank you, Sasha, for working on this. I'm glad we're able to make this accommodation. Members of council, I'm prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? That carries. Thank you so much. We can welcome back Mr. Broderick. We're going to move to our bylaws. We have a noise bylaw here in front of us. We had a discussion about this a couple of meetings ago, I think. Be it resolved that bylaw 2624, being a bylaw to regulate noise within the township of Clearview, be presented and read a first, second, and third time, finally pass on the 13th day of April 2026. And that will be moved by the Deputy Mayor. Thank you. And Councillor Deneen will be the seconder. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Like I said, we discussed this previously. Is there any questions? Seeing none, I'll call the bylaw. All in favor? That carries unanimous. The bylaw carries. The next one is the Agricultural Advisory Committee Terms of Reference. This also was discussed previously a couple times, actually. Be it resolved that bylaw 2625, being a bylaw to establish and adopt terms of reference for the Agricultural Advisory Committee, be presented and read a first, second, and third time, finally passed on the 13th day of April 2026. Mr. MacArthur, would you like to move that? Thank you. Mr. Deputy Mayor, would you second it? Thank you, sir. And any questions about this? No? Seeing none, I'll call the bylaw. All in favor? And the bylaw carries unanimous. Thank you. Mr. Broderick, you might want to step back one more time as you have a conflict on this one. Declared bylaw 2626, a facility lease agreement with Wilcox Place for the Clearview Chamber of Commerce. Be it resolved that bylaw 2626, being a bylaw to authorize entering into a lease agreement with the Clearview Chamber of Commerce for use of office space at 7308A Highway 26, be presented and read a first, second, and third time, finally passed on this 13th day of April 2026. Moved by Mr. Walker, thank you, and seconded by Councillor Deneen. Thank you. Any questions on this bylaw? Seeing none, all in favor? That bylaw carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Welcome back, Mr. Broderick. And notice of motion or new business? Anybody got any questions or notice of motion? Seeing none? Looking good. Okay. Confirmatory bylaw. Recommendation be it resolved that bylaw 2628, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the April 13, 2026 council meeting, be presented to read a first, second, and third time, finally passed, 13th day of April 2026. Mr. Beelan? Thank you. Mr. Broderick? Thank you. And all in favor? Confirmatory bylaw carries. Now we're at the motion to adjourn. The time is about 7:22-ish. Is that right? Madam Clerk, 22, 23? What is it? 23, 7:23 p.m. And so I'll ask for, where is it? Councillor Walker, thank you. And the Deputy Mayor will be the seconder. This is the motion to adjourn. All those in favor? And that carries. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight. It was a very good meeting with a lot of content, and